So in Yossi Sfus, we have the merit to learn Torah on Isru Chag. Most people are still in Chutzlaritz and Kabbalah Torah still in Shavuos. They're at the Chag or something like that. We're getting close to that. Maybe they're in Shachris. I'm not sure. Depends where they are. But we are learning Torah in the Moharan in Eretz Isru and Isru Chag. About to get ready for Parshas Nasa, the biggest parsha in the Torah. We'll be learning about how the fact that Yosef, he's sholet. This idea that Tzaddik is sholet on himself. The Isru Gibor, we know in Pirkei Avos. We had to see him already Erev Shavuos. If everyone learned it week by week. And now we're going through it again. And I think in the second parak, I think it says Isru Gibor, Kodesh Yitzro. He controls his Yetzer Hara, and that's one of the connection points we've been learning here with Yosef Tzaddik. Remember we learned that his mouth was full. We learned about the bris Kodesh, is the chariot of Yisod. We're just going over the Torah Lamed Dalet in Sif Gimel. Asher Havai Shelo Benikud Malafim. The Shem Havai is connected to the concept of Malufim, which is one of the Nikudim, I think, of how we do, like when we have Nikudas on the Shem Havai. So we didn't mention this last time, so it's good that we are going back. But there's specific Nikudas under each of the Shem Havais. For example, in Shemon Esrei, if you take a Bel Zesidah, and it's Lefi Kabbalah, every Shemon Esrei during the 12 Brachas has a different Nikud, connected different inyanim of Kabbalah. Each Shem Havai and each different bracha in the 12 brachas of Shemon Esrei connect different tikkunim that go on through the brachas of Shemon Esrei. I mean, there is one of the beautiful explanations in Likutei. He says that the 12 brachas in Shemon Esrei, after you do the first three and end off with the last three, the in-between part, the bakashot, are connected the 12 tribes, which we know is connected the 12 Chodoshim. So, for that, if we go Lefi Rosh Chodesh Nisan, we'd be Chonein, Hoshivenu, Avinu, and then Slach Lanu. So why would Slach Lanu be connected to Sivan? So one of the main kavanas the Balatanya brings down, the Slach Lanu, is on the oven of Bitter Torah. Yeah, so that connects into Shavuos. And there's one of the things we need to work on. The Tzaddikim, their mouth is filled with Torah. Malufim hu Isis Malefum. That's why David HaMelech was never to be killed until he was distracted from Torah. Because Tzaddikim can't do Davik to Torah. Once you Davik to Torah, you have a Shmir. It's a Mogen. So David HaMelech and Yosef Tzaddik, yeah. Yosef is connected to the idea of Malufam, and it's Isis Malefum. Lahirish Shekoa Shefainu Apeh Shal Tzaddik. All the big bracha comes down through the mouth of the Tzaddik. Humale Melakusha Shemisbrach. So now we're in a new Tekufa, a new Chelik. As they say in Yiddish, a frisher Chelik of Torah. We davened, all the different Chalakim of Torah come down fresh now. We're just after Shavuos. Should be even more of an excitement to learn. It's a new portion. You know, I never understood why when I worked in the American yeshiva, suddenly Shavuos ends by already next week. Yeah, Parshas Baloscha, already ending the Zman, and by Shlach they're already leaving. So you don't have much time after Shavuos to really internalize the new Kabbalah Torah. But it could be that with the Koach of Torah, the Malim Tzchis is that they now have the ability to go back into the world. It could be the other way of explaining it. Go into the summer, go and do their tikkunim over there. One of the things I named the Zera Shimshon class tonight is Torah of the summer. For Charles to give over some Torah, to give us Koach. That's one of the reasons we learn pick up. Torah of the summer. Summer months, it's not easy. Yeah, I already sent a message of Shlomo. I said that I'm a little bit nervous with the coming months. You know, a lot of the Olam here, they go on holidays and this and that. Yeah. You know, we can only usually generally afford like a little few days here and there. So we're sitting here like, and it's empty almost. Yeah, it's hard.
You're saying interesting.
Yeah.
So it'll affect your.
The chiyas a little bit. Yeah, because we don't have the rabbim, we don't have the learning. Like,
what do you say?
Just wish me a full time. I think he focused in on the Ikka Nakuda. I specifically was talking about my leg. I don't know if I talked to you about it, but I've had problems with sciatica and stuff like that. And I mentioned it last year. I couldn't even walk. I was hobbling back here and forth for about a month. Yeah, but so I was doing okay this year, and then came Shavuot 7 times back and forth. Because it was extra, in Yanim, learning at night. Yeah, it's come back. It's pretty strong.
How far down is it going?
Right now it's still at the back, thank God. So it's still at a good place. It hasn't spread throughout the leg, thank God. So I feel a little bit breast. I feel like maybe because I'm not in such a stressful environment like I was last year. Last year I was still working in Yerushalayim. So maybe that helps. I've reduced a lot of the stress. It doesn't, or maybe Hashem's having Rahmanas. It could be a million reasons. The main thing is with the Tzaddikim, their mouth is filled with Osius. To teach Hashem's Torah and to bring down the Kli. The whole thing of Malchus Peh is that the Peh is a Kli for the tefillahs. The Tzaddikim have such a cover to the Peh. Torah Shabbat Peh. The Torah that's bow on his Peh. That's Pshat. Torah Shabbat Peh is someone who has Ba'alis on his Peh. Then he's able to makabel the Torah Shabbat. You have a trouble learning a sugya. It's very difficult. Yeah, learning Zeh Shimshon, it's pilpulim. Look at Moharan, Hashem opens it up a little bit because we're Shachador. He gives us Tzaddikim that open up the Shemaims for us, even though we're on a low level. But we go to grab the Talmud and we grab pilpulim, and it gets a little bit difficult. So because you have to be sholat on your pair to be able to get to that level where the Torah starts to open up and to bring out the Elikus. That's where the Tzaddikim are. Their kli, their mouth is in a good place, and it's filled with shemus and shefa, and it's malei melikus shah Hashem Yisbarach. It's filled with the godliness of Hashem Yisbarach. Ki lechor kasha lama ein nesvikin tefillah. There's got a question here, and it's a big question from a Breslov, especially from Rebbe Nachman himself. What we don't need to daven? They just that's how they are. Hashem Yisbarach Yedei Machshavos, and Hashem Yisbarach, He knows our thoughts, which is interesting because we say on Simchas Torah, we do the Hashanas, we take the Sefer Torah, Yedei Machshavos Hashiana. So one of the things, Machshavos is very connected to Yosef Tzaddik. Why? Because Yosef is Yud Sof. He's bringing the Machshava all the way down to the Sof, to the lowest level. Bring down the Chokhmah all the way down. That's why he was a tzaddik who was able to go to Mitzrayim, to lowest levels, and bring us all up. He's the Mosef ala Ikka. He's the one who adds the Kedusha of Hanukkah, and all we need to bring down the Kedusha into the lowest places. That's the aura of Shalasidis, the aura of Yosef Tzaddik, the Beis Yosef Lahava, this fire that goes out. He's able to bring the Machshava all the way down to the lowest place. Aval Machmash, there's a kasha of Rebbe Nachman, how. Well, what we don't need to daven to get to this. So because Dibos, says Nachman, is the vessel of shefa, of abundance, then we're able to receive that shefa. And Hashem will bless you the words that you say. So obviously Yosef started to reach that level where he was able to, he was mafanis everyone. He had all the ksafti, he had all the kesav of Mitzrayim. He was able to be that level. Ana Zara Yosef, he was on that level where he has a shmira and he was able to bring shefa, all these different madrigas. Halafisha dibaki kena shefa. So what he spoke, Hashem was Mekayim, like you said the other day. I think you said it. So it goes Hashem Mekayim. He doesn't say that here, but that's the sort of the Mamashas, which connects into Shas. It was a good connection. It's a power that Tzaddikim have in their mouth. And then what happens is their Dibor gets to the level of being a vessel. I have to say, sometimes at Shabbos, or maybe even during the week also, when people start speaking Lashon Hara, or people speak Nebel Peh or nonsense, I start to get angry. Yeah, I have to work on my midas. At the end of the day, having not good midas is never excuse for anyone else around you actions. But I have to work on myself. So just let go. It's okay. Hashem understands. Hashem's with us. It's okay. Women have certain inyam they need to talk about. They have to get it off their emotion, they have a heta, whatever. With children have to be, grow. They're they're not. I'm not such a tzaddik,
You used to be somewhat of a Talmud Chacham for sure in this community. His name is Rabbi Yedidiah. Before he came here,
Okay.
he had one of the biggest Svarim collections.
Oh wow.
You can imagine, and he lived right underneath the Makolet, first big house. Like
Makolet, what
opposite alone. He lived opposite
yeah,
alone.
okay, good.
And
Near where the mikveh, not so far from the mikveh.
yeah, and so he just really a huge, and he was a Ben bias by me. He was very often by me. He was very fortunate to have him. A little bit quirky, but I loved him, and he gave me great mussar, and I enjoyed having him around. Anyway, one Shabbos I had him over, and then I had a new couple that we invited also over for Shabbos. And I was trying to connect with them, and I don't know, I'm sure it's me, but the Nakuda that we spoke about, and I'm saying, was the Kardashians.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
this is a don't even,
that name.
it was a Kardashian. That name came up at my Shabbos
That name
table.
gets me angry.
Oh, that name
Especially
came up at my Shabbos, and this guy,
can't sober
this
those
Talmid Chacham Shtickl Tzaddik, I will never forget it. Looked at me with such eyes. He he maybe didn't even know who they were. It didn't matter. He couldn't believe. It was clear to me. Just it said so much that this was being spoken about the Shabbos table. That night, he went home. The next morning, he put on his tefillin. He had a shul in his baby Josh in his house also. Put on his tefillin. Sunday morning, never woke up. They didn't find him till Tuesday. He died of a heart attack. And his last Shabbos meal was by me. And I, in my own way, I feel like absolutely that was part of it because I know what I saw in his eyes.
You think about this a lot?
All the time.
Oh my gosh.
All the time. And you just bring it up now.
Sorry,
it's like
I
another.
didn't
It's
mean to.
okay.
I had no
But it's okay. It's a lesson. It's to
I
your
was more
point.
talking about my own issues.
It's to your point. It's to your point.
I get fiery when I hear things. I mean, like, I don't always speak amazing, but that's often because I know I have a heter from Rabbonim that you have to go down, even on Shabbos, for the sake of, there's certain, if you learn the Daber Dober on Hilchos Shabbos, like there's certain levels of dibur that you have to try Makayim, obviously Chachmas Kel, you want to talk about Hashem, but then there's going to be levels and levels, and sometimes talking about Shtusim for the sake of a Yid, his Tanuk is to talk about Shtusim. So you give him an Onik Shabbos by going on his level a little bit, even if you're not on such a high level yourself. But for you, that's a little bit of your reader, and you do it for the sake of these people, and it's a chesed for them to give them tanuk. The only problem is, like you said, you had someone there who just couldn't be sober with it. So sometimes when I have my son, for example, this one, who comes, the Chassidish Yerushalayim one, he can't sober also. He gets fiery as well. So I'm able to, with years of working and on all kinds of people and all kinds of situations, and I've had all kinds of Shabboses with musicians and on trips, and you have to talk about stuff. So I've had all kinds of scenarios, but my son is still fresh, he's still young, he still hasn't worked this through yet. So he gets bummed up, so it's hard for him. So we have to work on it. No?
There was one other incident that happened. You're a little bit Nogeh B'Davar. He wasn't crazy about the fact that I would go to Uman or Breslov. He wasn't sold on necessarily. I don't want to say
Who was his
wrong.
Rabbanim?
Rav Soloveitchik.
Okay, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, but he was intrigued nonetheless. And we loved each other. We really did.
Sure.
And
my son's just coming back from Uman.
So he knew I was a shtickl Talmud of Avarush, and because I would quote him often and read his books.
Sure.
And so after Avarush's son was in an accident,
I think it was his grandson.
His grandson.
Yeah.
So he said to me that Shabbos was going, and he said, Rav Arush's grandson got in an accident. And I said, yeah, of course, because he couldn't stop it, huh? It really, I got very, and we got into a little bit of an argument.
No, you can't say stuff like that.
Right,
Look, no, but you know what the Indian is, that with all the Torah that someone can have, there has to be a certain awareness to this dinim, and you have to work towards the level of the tzaddik, which is hamtachas dinim. And with Arush, in that whole mindset, he was just thanking Hashem the whole time, before and after, during.
That's the Emet, and
that's what his Midrash.
And he didn't miss a beat, so to speak, with everything that came his way.
And by Reb Shimon, when there was that crazy son, he was screaming to Hashem. He knew something was going on. But even after the fact, he still thanked Hashem, even though he lost some very big talmidim of his, and made a big nafkamina to his community. What happened then? The arson, and he had to go and identify. It was terrible.
Oh, because there was a lot of Breslovers there?
Yeah, one of his biggest talmidim, the one who was the biggest on the Svarim. His wife is the person on the Svarim, Frida. Frida lost her husband. He was a tzaddik. He used to learn with this black everybody. Anyway,
Did he live in Beitar?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
He lived near the shul. He lost a very big student, and there was another people from Beitar, and there was other people as well. He lost a few Talmidim, so it was very hard for him. I was there. I was mamash. I was before Moharan, during Moharan, after Moharan, and I got to hear the inside scoop. The inside what Varish was busy doing.
But he continued on. He didn't miss
Hashem,
it. He hasn't stopped
Shirim,
that. Thank Hashem. Continue.
No, it's all about
Havas Yisrael, Nekuda Tova.
Yeah, he went very strong on that.
Yeah.
And the Indian of Hamtakas Dinim, like B'Shur Sham, you can't let the Dinim take it. That's one of the things, like Lel Shabbos, you feel certain like Gevura from Yitzchak, Pakad Yitzchak, when you want to be shown yourself from all the Bvach, all the weak, it's Yitzchak Yaranei, and it's Inyanim Tzvarim talk about it. You have to be able to channel it into Simcha, into singing, and the Rebbe is very strong on that. You can't let it take over you where you start shouting at the kids and going crazy at the guests or whatever. Even inside, even on the inner level, you have to try working. It's hard for me. I'm still working it. Baruch Hashem, Shirat David is a very happy place, and all the hugs and the dancing, it sweetens me a lot. Yeah, it sweetens me a lot.
Yeah, can you imagine if you didn't have that? If you had just another
dry,
dry...
Yeridika place, just enhance it even worse. So you have to work on it. So I'm not saying where that Yid was, but in the end of the day, when my kids bring up, and they've said those names at my Shabbos table, unfortunately, I do tell them, please, I really don't want to hear about that family specifically. For some reason, they feel like a giant klipa Shem Shemenu, and the only good moment I had was when a few people were making fun of them recently. This guy Tony Hinchcliffe, I actually like him. He ripped into her, what zona she is. Zonim. But anyway, you don't want to get me going with speaking about it, because I have a Kodesh side to me that I try to always bring it towards kindness. I don't want to let it come out. So, especially not in a frat, it doesn't really go here. You have to know your place. Yeah, so I think that, but one of the things I've seen by Rosh Hashanah as well, I think he has a side of Gevurah to him, but I've seen he constantly goes towards the Abba, the Manshah Ba'Abba. Yeah. And I think that's where we need to be, especially Shabbat, especially in the door. But look, you can't blame yourself. It's a very edel thing, how you speak, and Shabbos is an edel thing, and being Makarav Yidden is very, very important in our generation. We just had a whole shir on Shavuot from Rav Yosef Bornstein, Dr. Bornstein, on how the pendulum has gone towards Ikehi Maisa, according to Chabad Rebbe. Everything's towards doing Achnasas Orchim and bringing all kinds of people, and much less on the Gevulim, more on the Kiruv. So you probably made the right cheshbon and being able to help them with wherever this family were at. And the guy doesn't get it, Nebuch, what can you do? The other way around, it's Nebuch for him. He doesn't understand the door he's in. He's holding.
Oh, in that sense,
he's a Torah Dekiyid, but he doesn't understand the door that you need to be able to go down and pick him up.
I feel that was his last Shabbos. Those were the last words he heard on a Shabbos day.
You don't know the last words. Maybe Shabbos day he had a Gavaldik Hasidah. Was Shabbos Siddhas?
It was lunch, but I walked him home and he was by himself.
Maybe he who knows, the skinnis of Dosa is last words.
Yeah. But I will say now what I do is, since our Shabbos year, I do, I have the Lamed Vav book, the red book, and I read a story every Friday night, and my kids love it. They look forward to it.
Nishmas to him?
It's towards that idea of wait a sec, but we got to try to step up, and we try to sing a little bit, but even that, on your own or whatever.
Yeah, but Shlomo's chizuk on that helped me also. I mean, some say Torah anyway, and some say Chassidus, but it pushed me to say a bit more.
People listen to you. You're not talking to a wall.
Kids listen, yeah. My wife always says to me if I'm not there, it's good once where you're not around. She tells me they miss your Torah, they miss your stories, they miss it. The truth comes out. They act like it's an act. Inside the neshama needs is hungry for it. Remember, you have to also understand there's a concept of or chayzer. Rabbi Nachman brings down when tzaddikim are talking and people are not on the level to makabel everything they're saying, seemingly. But there's a concept of or chayzer. The light of the Torah comes back to you even bigger. It bounces off and it reflects back, and you get even bigger gilui. So one of the things I used to do when I used to work with teenagers, I'd say Torah, and I wasn't sure if they were listening on their phone, I don't know what, but I'd just keep saying Torah, and it came back, and I got more and more misakim, and I got more close to Hashem, and Mamela, all those guys planted seeds, you're doing the right thing, and you see Hashem work it out. It's not always about what you see on a revealed level, and the Tzaddikim had that amunah, and that's part of their kli for shefa with their dibur, but dabba, they speak constantly in amunah. That's also a big nakuda, and it brings a lot of shefa down. Look, Rav Orish is very matzliach. All the tzaddikim you see around and around, the very tzaddikim are very matzliach. Just end off one thing. Tzaddikim v'adu b'shlemis v'lui l'chein yichol ha'amshich shefa Yisrael le'zen yichol b'chinas mali fum v'es shapeh shemali b'shabbat.